What's good, everybody? This is your boy Juggernaut097 back here with another video. And today we are talking about WrestleMania 20, where it all begins again. So we go all the way back to March 14th, 2004. So, so they were in Madison Square Garden. So 20 years earlier, they were in Madison Square Garden for the first WrestleMania. And then, they also did WrestleMania 10 at Madison Square Garden. So shouldn't this be called, the tagline for the show be called Begins Again, Again? Having it, because they had it 3 times in Madison Square Garden. Which, since WrestleMania 23, they started doing the stadium shows, which I don't think we'll ever see WrestleMania go back to Madison Square Garden. Because, they love doing those big domes in football stadiums. Madison Square Garden, it's pretty historic. But, yeah, they would never probably go back to a WrestleMania out of Madison Square Garden. I don't know, maybe WrestleMania 50. I don't know, someday down the line. I don't know, bring historic back out. I don't know, we'll see. But, yeah, we're here to talk about WrestleMania 20, where it all begins again. And this is probably going to be one of the last WrestleManias I review for this WrestleMania season. I might actually maybe try to do 1 or 2 more. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, let's start talking about WrestleMania 20. So the first match that kicked off the show, and also this was a pretty long Mania. It was a 4-hour, 5-hour runtime. I don't remember exactly. It was 4 something hours. But we had the opening match. We had the WWE United States Championship on the line. We had Big Show defending the title against the challenger, John Cena. And this was when John Cena was doing this whole Dr. Thugonomics gimmick. And also, I love the whole setup for the show also. This was one of the first times that they were doing the LED board on the floor. I think that was one of the first times WWE has ever done that. And I also the backdrop behind the ring, with the LED board. I thought that was pretty cool. It was pretty simple, but I like the way the stage and the setup was done for WrestleMania 20 in Madison Square Garden. But yeah, so we had John Cena and the Big Show. John Cena was of course doing this whole Dr. Thugonomics gimmick. He came out, did a little cool rap battle on Big Show. And also Cena, was really over during this time. When Cena first came in, he wasn't that over, with his prototype gimmick. And then, this Dr. Thugonomics gimmick worked for him. But yeah, people were so over with him. People were chanting for Cena to win. Cena had to hit the FU a few times on Big Show. And then when when Big Show kicked out the first time, what was it? John Cena grabbed some brass knuckles and knocked out the Big Show and then hit another FU to pick up the win. So the winning of the match was John Cena to become the new United States Champion. So I thought it was a really good way to kick off the show. Got the crowd really into it. And this was one of the only title changes that happened on this show. Rather than, going to the main event. So I think that's cool how they did it because, the opening match and the main event match are the 2 most important things on the show, But yeah, this was really fun stuff here. And then the next match we had was the WWE. We had the World Tag Team Championship on the line in the Fatal 4-Way. So we had Rob Van Dam and Booker T defending the titles against Garrison Cade and Mark Jindrak. And then we also had the Dudley Boys in here, Bubba Ray and Devon Dudley. We also had La Resistance in this match. And I think those were all teams. Yeah, those were all teams in this match. This match was, your typical Fatal 4-Way multi-man tag team match here. Nothing really special here. And it was a few weeks prior where Rob Van Dam and Booker T ended up winning these titles. So I think, it was definitely too early to take the titles off of them. This match wasn't very long. We only got like 8 minutes in this match here. Not very long. I mean, the ending sequences were nice where a lot of teams were hitting their finishers and stuff. But in the end, Rob Van Dam and Booker T ended up retaining here. So I thought it was an okay match show for what it was. I mean, nothing crazy. But with like all four, with having a whole bunch of teams in here, I thought the match would have went a little longer, but unfortunately it didn't. With how long the show was, I think the match should have went longer, in my opinion. But yeah. And then the next match we had was Christian going up against Chris Jericho. So the whole backstory behind this feud was Jericho and Christian made a bet to see if Christian would nail if Christian could nail Lita first, or if Trish could nail, or if Jericho could nail Trish first. That's basically what they said in that promo. And so I had Jericho and Trish. They were kind of hooking up and stuff, and Jericho was catching villains for Trish. Yeah, Jericho's catching villains for Trish here. Jericho's catching villains for Trish, and Christian was mad, so he decided to turn his back on Jericho. And in the process, take out Trish Stratus here. Your typical love triangle stuff here. I mean, it worked really well. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of these love triangle feuds, but it really worked here. Having three great talent in here. You had Christian and Chris Jericho here. Really good wrestlers in the ring, and they cut pretty good promos. It was really good. And having Trish in here, the female in here, she was doing great stuff here. So I mean, it all worked out for all the parties in this feud. But yeah, that's basically what this whole feud was. But yeah, this match was good. Both guys had really good chemistry. Two Canadians here. I mean, what else can you ask for? The crowd was really into it. Christian ended up winning by he ended up rolling up Jericho. So for a cheap win. And then we had Trish Stratus come out. Well, she kind of got involved. She kind of costed Jericho the match, and Jericho was kind of pissed, and then Trish Stratus ended up slapping Jericho, turning on him, and Christian hit the kill switch or the Unprettier. I think it was the Unprettier at the time. Hit that, and left Jericho in the ring by himself, and Trish and Christian kissing at the top of the stage. This has been played many times, but hey. This feud worked here. I mean, usually, like I said, I'm not a big fan of love triangles, but this one worked here. I enjoyed it. And then the next match we had was Evolution, Batista, Randy Orton, and Ric Flair going up against a rocket socket action of The Rock and Mick Foley. So, basically, I like that promo that they were doing before this match here with showing Evolution inside the stairwell, because I think it was going back to 2003 or something, or prior. They had, or maybe it was the year prior. They had Randy Orton punt Mick Foley down the steps of Madison Square Garden. So it's ironic that they're doing this match here at Madison Square Garden. And to be honest, Mick Foley, he was putting over Randy Orton quite a bit, taking the punt down those steps. And there was one time where Mick Foley walked out of an Intercontinental Championship match against Randy Orton, so it kind of made Mick Foley kind of weak here, and kind of made Randy Orton look stronger and stuff. So eventually Mick Foley had to ask for some backup, and he brought The Rock in. This was one of the last times The Rock was going to be inside a wrestling ring until 2011. At Survivor Series. But I mean, I thought this was an okay match. I mean, I love the taunting that Ric Flair and The Rock were doing. Both doing each other's taunts and stuff. So I thought that was cool. I felt like everybody worked really well together in this match. I mean, Mick Foley went on, said this many times before, but he's not very fond of this match. He doesn't really like it that much. Um, he said this wasn't his best work, which I thought was okay. I mean, yeah, I kind of agree this wasn't Mick Foley's best work, but it was still entertaining for what it was. I think everybody worked really well together. I mean, Evolution ended up winning, which I think was definitely the right call because this faction was so hot at the time. I was like, why let these part timers come in and beat them? You know, when The Rock was just going to go back to Hollywood, it just wouldn't make sense. So, you know, it's smart that they had Evolution win here. So, yeah, I mean, it was good stuff here. Really enjoyed it. And like I said, the promos and like having, you know, all the nostalgic stuff here. I enjoyed it. It was fun. And even the Rock promo that he was doing it was amazing as well. So, this was fun stuff. And then now we kind of flipped the script here, which was not so fun. I mean, yeah, we'll see here. So we got the Playboy Evening Gown match. Tori Wilson and Sable going up against Miss Jackie and Stacy Keibler. So basically, this wasn't really a long match here. This basically got like 3 minutes, which wasn't very much here. I mean, it was good on the eyes and stuff, you know, really easy on the eyes, but this was just a terrible match. I mean, it's not even a match if you call that. I mean, Tori Wilson and Sable won the match. I mean, they stripped out their nightgowns and all that. I mean, yeah, it's good for the male viewers to see, but yeah, this was not good at all. Like, I'm happy they don't do this stuff anymore these days, because man, it's just terrible stuff what they did here. Yeah, we're gonna move on though. And the next match we had was a cruiserweight open for the WWE Cruiserweight Championship. So this was basically a gauntlet match here. So after one person got eliminated, someone else will come into the ring, and then until it came down to the final two participants. So we had Chavo Guerrero defending the title against Akio, I think, which is Jimmy Wayne Yang, Billy Kidman, Funaki, Jamie Noble, Nunzio, Rey Mysterio, Shannon Moore, Tajiri, and Ultimo Dragon. Yeah, this match, like, until like Billy Kidman came into this match, I was not a really big fan of this match at all. I mean, Billy Kidman, he's very underrated. Like, I wish they would have did a little more Billy Kidman, especially in this division. But yeah, he was very, very underrated. I mean, he had a cool shooting star press to the outside of the ring. I think it was like onto Nunzio and like maybe like Jamie Noble, I think. I'm pretty sure that's who he did it on. I think that was a pretty cool spot in the match. You know, he had a lot of high flying throughout the match. There was one point where, was it Tajiri? I think it might have been Tajiri. Or it was somebody who did spit some mist on the face and they got DQ or they got eliminated from the match. And then ultimately it came down to Rey Mysterio and Chavo Guerrero for the Cruiserweight Championship. And we also had Chavo Senior out there, or Chavo Classic, whatever you want to call him. We had them out there helping Chavo win. Like, he held down the legs of Rey Mysterio, and Chavo ended up retaining the title. So, I mean, it was okay for what this match was. Nothing crazy. Like I said, until Billy Kidman came into the match, I wasn't really caring about. I mean, it was cool seeing Ultimo Dragon in the match. That was cool. But I didn't really care about Shannon Moore in this match, and Funaki. Yeah, this match wasn't really much anything. And then the next match we had was Stone Cold as the special guest referee. So we had Goldberg going up against Brock Lesnar, the Beast Incarnate. So during this time, you know, the fans knew that Goldberg and Brock Lesnar were on their way out the door. So if they're going to be on their way out the door, it's like, why give them the time of day? You know, why make this an awesome match? Which people were shitting all over this match. You know, they were saying, you know, throughout the match when the match was going on, this match sucks, and, you know, booing this match. They were chanting for more of Stone Cold Steve Austin here. And basically the whole backstory behind this feud was, at No Way Out, Goldberg spear Brock Lesnar, and helped Eddie Guerrero win the WWE Championship. And that's how this feud got started here. Yeah, this match was not good. I mean, this match was basically a brawl. They kind of did like a lot of calling over times, a lot of rest holds. People said this match was boring, and I mean, I agree this match was boring. But the thing that's kind of saved this match was definitely Stone Cold and the fans, because like the fans' reactions were great. I love the fans' reactions, but this match was a sleeper fest. I did not like it at all. Goldberg ended up hitting a spear on Brock Lesnar a few times. But yeah, I mean, not a good match at all. And then after this match, we had, Brock Lesnar. He flipped off the fans, flipped off Stone Cold. And that was it. That was the last time we see Brock Lesnar for quite a while. Because then he would do his MMA stuff. But Stone Cold gave Brock Lesnar a stunner in the process, after. And then he also gave Goldberg a stunner after they were drinking some beers in the ring. So, yeah, I mean, so Stone Cold helped save this a little bit. But, yeah, this was still an awful match. And then the next match we had was another Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match. We had Too Cool, Rikishi and Sky Too Hotty. They were the champions. They were the WWE Tag Team champions. Defending the titles against the world's greatest tag team, Shawn Benjamin and Charlie Haas, the Basham brothers, Doug Basham and Danny Basham, and then the APA. This kind of goes back to the same scenario that the first Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match was. Just didn't get enough time. I mean, you had some pretty good teams in here, like the world's greatest tag team. They weren't too bad. The APA, they weren't bad, but like, yeah, I don't remember much from this match, to be honest. I'm pretty sure one of the Bashams got pinned by Rikishi. Rikishi, just sat on, I think it was Doug Basham, if I'm not mistaken. If someone wants to go down in the comments below, tell me who got pinned. I think it was Doug Basham, but yeah, this was a pointless match here. This was Too Cool and Rikishi had a lot of control throughout this match, and I feel like the Basham brothers were in there a majority of the match, taking a lot of the beating. That's how I felt. But yeah, not a good match at all. And then the next match we had was a hair versus title match for the WWE Women's Championship. So we had Victoria defending that title against Molly Holly. So if Molly Holly lost, she would have to get her head shaved. But now if Molly Holly won, then she would end up becoming the women's champion, and no one will get their hair shaved. But I go like, okay, maybe this match might help save the women's matches on here, but no, it didn't at all. This was a really short match. There was one point in the match where Molly Holly was going for Victoria's finisher, but Victoria countered into like a backslide and getting a 1-2-3. And then Molly Holly eventually ended up getting her head shaved. So, yeah, pointless match. I wasn't a fan of it at all. I don't know the whole backstory to why Molly Holly was getting her head shaved. I really don't know. But, yeah. And then the next match. Okay, this is where the show, gets better again. Because there was a point in the show where it kind of dipped off. Like, when it came to Goldberg and Brock Lesnar, that's when it started dipping off. Or dipping down. But yeah, we had the WWE Championship on the line. We had Eddie Guerrero defending the title against Kurt Angle. Now, of course, at No Way Out 2004, that's when we had Eddie Guerrero take the title off of Brock Lesnar. I got like, why didn't they save this big moment for WrestleMania 20? To have a big moment here. I think. Excuse me, they should have done that, but then it might have took away from, the main event with Benoit winning the title, because both of them are good friends. So they didn't want like one of them to hog the spotlight or like outshadow one another. So maybe that's why they did it at No Way Out, and it was in I think it was in San Francisco, somewhere in California. So around Eddie Guerrero's hometown. Give me 1 second. Yeah, so it was like around Eddie Guerrero's like hometown and stuff. So, or somewhere around there, like of California. So yeah, this was a great match here between both guys. Both guys have really good chemistry. I like always when Kurt Angle does that belly suplex off the top rope, and also this was very technical wrestling style. You even had little splashes of high flying action from Eddie Guerrero. I mean, if you guys never seen this match, definitely go out your way and check out this match. This match was great. Kurt Angle, I love the psychology between both guys in the match, where Kurt Angle working on the leg of Eddie Guerrero, and then towards the end of the match here. So the whole ending sequence of this match was, Kurt Angle was working on the leg of Eddie Guerrero, and then Eddie Guerrero ended up taking off, untying his boot, loosening up his boot to see what was going on. Maybe his injury. There was like an injury getting to Eddie Guerrero, but Kurt Angle came back in the ring, locked in the ankle lock, and then Eddie Guerrero's boot ended up slipping off. And then Kurt Angle ended up trying to go after Eddie Guerrero, and then Eddie Guerrero did a small package, and Eddie Guerrero's feet were on the ropes and ended up retaining the title. So, Eddie Guerrero only had one boot on. So, Eddie Guerrero was doing his original stuff, his lying, cheating, and stealing here. But hey, I enjoyed this for what it was. This was an awesome match here. Like I said, if you've never seen this match, definitely go out your way and check out this match. But yeah. And then the next match we had was The Undertaker with Paul Bearer in the corner going up against Kane. Now, it was at Survivor Series the year prior where the Undertaker got buried. They were doing a buried alive match, and Undertaker got buried by Kane. And then now, I think Kane was doing like a eulogy for the Undertaker, and like they were doing all these vignette video packages and saying that he's gonna be returning at WrestleMania. So yeah, he returned here. He returned as a Deadman, not the American Badass. So that was cool. We got the Deadman persona back. Yeah. So this was the second time we had the Undertaker and Kane at WrestleMania, because they competed, which I did a review for that Mania. They competed at WrestleMania 14. So this is their second time they competed at Mania together. Yeah, I mean, both WrestleMania matches weren't really good, and this match wasn't that good here either. Kind of more of a brawling style. Nothing really much happened here. I mean, Kane was like, no, this isn't real. He says, you're not here. He says, you're not real. No. And there was one point where he tried touching the Undertaker to see if it was actually him. And the Undertaker just, started unloading a whole bunch of punches on him. Like I said, really, really short match. Undertaker ended up handing a tombstone on to Kane. And it was only one tombstone, and then bam, it was over. But like at WrestleMania 14, it took like 3 tombstones to end Kane. So I don't know why it only took one to end here. I think that was interesting. But yeah, Undertaker, he kept his undefeated streak going. So yeah. But the match was not that good in my opinion. And then now we move on to this amazing main event. We got a triple threat match for the World Heavyweight Championship. So we had the winner of the Royal Rumble in this match here, Chris Benoit. Yes, I'm going to say his name, Chris Benoit. And then we had, Shawn Michaels and Triple H, they had a match back at the Rumble. And both of them couldn't reach the count of 10, so it went to a draw at the Rumble. So, who was the GM at the time? I can't remember. Was it Mick Foley? I don't remember who the GM was. But maybe it was Eric Bischoff. I think it might have been Bischoff. But yeah, so they decided to, have a match at Mania. And then they decided to be adding Benoit into the match, because he's the Rumble winner. But yeah, this was a really awesome triple threat match between all three of these guys. I mean, Triple H, he was really bleeding a lot throughout this match. We had Shawn Michaels. He was bleeding as well. They did a really nice table spot. Who was it? I think it was, they did it to Benoit in the match. They put Benoit through this table. I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, early on in the match, we had Benoit and Shawn Michaels. They just wanted to take their aggression out on Triple H. Both wanted to get their hands on him. So, they would do anything to get their hands on him here. You got some really good false finishes in this match. The drama in this match was great. I just enjoyed it. But in the end, Chris Benoit would end up becoming the new World Heavyweight Champion by locking in the... Give me 1 second. But yeah, in the end, Chris Benoit, he would lock in the Crippler Crossface onto Triple H and he was in it for a few good minutes, maybe 3 or 4 minutes, until Triple H tapped out to the Crippler Crossface, and the new World Heavyweight Champion, Chris Benoit. That was a really great moment at WrestleMania 20 with Benoit winning. I mean, even though, like I said, even all the unfortunate circumstances that will happen with Chris Benoit, he's still, I don't take his in-ring ability away, because he was a great wrestler in the ring. I completely, cancel out all of that stuff, with him. I try not to bring, personal things, with what he did outside the ring and what he did inside the ring. I try to keep them separate. But yeah, we had Benoit beating Triple H and Shawn Michaels to become the World Heavyweight Champion. And then after this, we had, Benoit was celebrating the ring, and then Eddie Guerrero came out. They both were hugging. Confetti was flying down. And that's how you end WrestleMania. Two good friends, Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit, two real life friends. These guys went up and down the road with each other, through Japan, through Mexico, through, the hard times, through the great times. These two guys were really good friends. And it's unfortunate that both these guys are gone. These guys lost too soon. I mean, very tragic circumstances. These guys were definitely through, in the wrong era of professional wrestling. I think they should have been, in this era of wrestling, in my opinion. Yeah, that's just me, though. But yeah, I really enjoyed this match here. And that's how WrestleMania 20 ended, on a good note. So yeah, overall, I really enjoyed WrestleMania 20 back in 2004 here. I mean, there were some things on this card that were kind of I didn't really care about. I definitely tell you the stuff that's worth checking out. So check out the opener between John Cena and Big Show. Check out that match. You could check out the Evolution and the Rock and Sock Connection match. You could check out if you want to check out, you can check out Goldberg and Brock Lesnar, just for the fact, with the crowd reaction in that match. Check out that, I guess. Check out Eddie Guerrero and Kurt Angle. Check out that match. And then check out the main event. Everything else on this match is kind of Raw stuff you see typically on Raw. And maybe check out the Undertaker match, just for the fact that we have the Deadman back at this WrestleMania. But other than that, this stuff on here is typical Raw stuff. But yeah, that was WrestleMania. That was my WrestleMania 20 review. Some videos that are coming up for you guys. So I got my WrestleMania 39 predictions. I just did my NXT Stand and Deliver 2023 predictions. So yeah, definitely check out that video if you haven't already. I might do another WrestleMania review for WrestleMania 22. So stay tuned for that. That might be my last one I review. I don't know yet. We'll see. As well as I might be doing a Ring of Honor, Super Card of Honor predictions. We'll see if I'm going to do that. And I got some watch alongs to do this weekend. So, busy WrestleMania week, guys. Bit busy. The week keeps rolling on for WrestleMania. Tonight we got Dynamite. So, there's a lot of stuff to look forward to, this WrestleMania week. And also, if this is your first time ever checking out my channel, hit that subscribe button. As well as hit the like button. Turn on the notification bell to be notified every time I make a new video. And go follow me on all my social media platforms. Go follow me on Twitter and Instagram at TheTrueJSB. And this is your boy Juggernaut saying peace out. And I will catch you guys in my next video whenever that may be.